I want to thank all of you. I think with today's money that came in, we raised $3,380. So thank you all for that. And so, past president, yes? For me, it was for $2,000. Well, we had another goal for $3,000, and it was for. What's going on?
You got to. If you want to play, you got to pay. So you guys got to go out here. Bob, you got to go out here. Come on now.
Now?
We got a challenge. Everybody, come on outside.
Now, really?
You got to get calmed down.
Wait a second. What's going on here? Oh, speaking of Mr. Pedal for Polio.
Captain Polio. Ed, come on, let's go.
I'll pay $100.
You'll pay $100? No one's supposed to pay $100.
Who wants to pay $100 for the
What?
$100 here.
Wow. You guys, this is too much. Well, I'll pay $125 then.
$125.
We're doing it together.
Oh, we're doing it together? All right.
I like it.
If you guys want to do a bidding war, that's good.
$100, $100. You guys get it. You get the honors over
Come on
here.
down there.
No execution.
Can I refill it like a 7-Eleven?
You can refill it at 7-Eleven.
Michael, pay attention. More money.
I'll pay extra for
I'm
shrinkage.
doing this one. I wanted Nistler. Hold on a minute. I wanted Nistler.
I said $100 for him.
I'll do 125 for
No,
Nistler.
presidential.
Oh, thank
I'll
you.
do 125 for Nistler.
Oh, 125. Do I hear 150?
Oh, wait a minute. Now I'm feeling bad. You're not going to do 125 for me?
I would do 150. Well, I love you and everything, but you know, I have to see him every Thursday. Chris, he's 125
Yeah.
for Michael.
Okay.
I'll match him if we can do 2 buckets.
Oh.
We have more ice, or you got all the
We'll
ice?
get
You know
plenty of
what?
ice.
I guess once you... He'll get some more water. He'll get some more water. If you guys both want to do me.
We really want to pour this water on Nistler. But we're going to put the water on together for both people.
Oh,
That's Solomon.
$300.
$300.
What a perfect rotary solution.
Pour it on Nistler to let the governor.
One.
Ready?
slow.
Woohoo, here we go. Here we go.
This is awesome. I love it. I would have paid 200 for you. I would have paid free.
Right there. That's fine.
He'll get some more water. If you guys both want to do me.
We really want to pour this water on Nistler. But we're going to put the water on together for both people.
Oh,
That's Solomon.
$300.
$300.
What a perfect rotary solution.
Pour it on Nistler to let the governor.
One.
Ready?
slow.
Woohoo, here we go. Here we go.
This is awesome. I love it. I would have paid 200 for you. I would have paid free.
Right there. That's fine.
Well, I got some out in the car.
Okay, well, good afternoon, everyone.
the best part about being assistant district governor is I get to introduce someone who's very special. So let me tell you a little bit about Barb, and in order to do that, otherwise someone will have to read it to me. 2.5 years ago, when Barb Spangler learned that she would be district governor in 2018-2019, she took a deep breath and made Rotary District 5130 a top priority in her life. After many informal club visits and participation in a number of great club projects, Bob has come to love our district and describes the DG experience as the best job ever. And I said this yesterday, I can't believe it's better than the club president. It's a brilliant opportunity to be with and work with Rotarians, good people at their very best. In 2010, she retired from GE Healthcare as a clinical research manager in interventional cardiology and promptly joined the Valley of the Moon Rotary Club in Santa Rosa. She has been a club president, assistant governor, district training assembly chair, and Zone Institute Emerging Rotary Leader Program participant. So what do you do with your spare time? Barb was born and raised in Boston and holds an undergraduate degree and graduate degrees in science and business from schools in the Boston area. Her career in healthcare technology, research and development gave her many opportunities to travel, live abroad, experience the world's economic and cultural diversity. She's been to all 7 continents and recommends Boston for education, New York for fun, Paris for food, I can attest to that, Africa and the Galapagos for nature and wildlife, and Antarctica for beauty, and District 5130 for Rotary service and friendship. When not at Rotary, Barb lives in Santa Rosa with her husband Jim, also a Rotarian, and their dog Buddy, affectionately known as Puppy Zilla. So it's with great pleasure I introduce Barb Spangler, our district governor.
Thanks, Len. Careful, careful. Whoa. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
My life.
you're welcome. We just almost had a foot. We had a foot under a. You have a boot like this one. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm happy to be here. I want to thank the board for a great meeting this morning. We met at 10 o'clock. Thank you, everyone who was at that meeting. It was wonderful. It's great to learn more about what the club does, who's in the club. I want to go on vacation with Tawny because I get the sense that she's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Don't cruise with Royal Caribbean. They won't let you on anymore.
They won't let you on anymore. Okay. I had a feeling it would be like that. Yeah. So it's great to learn more about the club and all the great things that you're doing. And I want to say thank you for all that you do. And I want to do a special shout out to thank you for sharing Chris Ranny with the district last year, working on the Fire Relief Fund Committee. That was a tremendous effort. Chris was an integral part to having that be so successful. And when somebody steps up and works with the district on behalf of their club, it's really appreciated. So thank you, Chris. And thank you to the club for all of the wonderful things, all of the people in the club who've contributed so much to the district over the years. It's really appreciated. It's how we do all the great things that we do. So we want to do a couple of things together today. First thing I want to do is talk a little bit about our theme and our logo. So can everybody see this? If you can't see the flag, you've got a card at your seat. So this year's theme is Be the Inspiration. So we learn about the theme for the Rotary year every January. All the governors from all of the Rotary districts around the world, of which there are 535 districts around the world, 35,000 Rotary clubs. 535 governors. And when you think of 35,000 Rotary clubs, how many people are math people? Science and math people. Okay, science and math people, how many days in the week? No, Monday to Friday. 5, because no clubs meet on the weekends, right? 5 days, 35,000 Rotary clubs. How many Rotary meetings are there a day? 7,000. There's 7,000 Rotary meetings going on someplace in the world every day. Rooms like this, just like us, everywhere in the world, doing something, really doing great things in their communities and great things in the world. So you're making a good choice, getting involved with Rotary. Yeah. So we were all of us new governors were in San Diego this past January learning about what was going to be happening this year. And so when that happens, the incoming president for Rotary International gets up on the stage and reveals the theme for the year. So we're all in this big auditorium. There's a 90-foot screen behind us. And on the screen behind us, there's a video of waves lapping on a shoreline like it's sunset. So Barry Rassin, who is the president of Rotary International this year, he's from the Rotary Club of East Nassau in the Bahamas. He was up on the stage by himself, and as he stood there, this symbol appeared in the center of the screen, this huge screen. And he said, I come from the Bahamas. That's the country I come from. And in the Bahamas, nothing is higher than 2 meters tall unless you build a second story on your house. So in the Bahamas, we are surrounded by water. There's water everywhere. Water is a fundamental component of the lives of everybody who lives in that part of the world. So the first element in the theme is a wave. So you can see a wave. A wave represents water. And what Barry says is water is a powerful force in the world. Water is everywhere, and it's powerful. And he said, just like waves and water are everywhere, so is Rotary. Rotary is everywhere, and Rotary is powerful. So the second element in the theme this year is right in the center. You kind of look a little bit like that. He said, there's a heart at the center of the theme. And I'll be honest with you, I've seen lots and lots and lots of hearts. Lots of hearts. And I had to be told that there was a heart in the middle of this, because that's not what I think of when I think of a heart. But in the center of the logo, there's a heart. And Barry said, there's a heart in the center of this theme because there's a heart in the center of everything that Rotary does. I love that notion, right? And the third thing that Barry said is, just like if you're out sailing, and you'll hear this next week, I'm sure, with next week's speaker, when you're out and the winds are light, what people do who are sailors is they put out the spinnaker. So the spinnaker is that sail, that brightly colored sail that goes out right out in the front of the boat and picks up the light air and gives your boat some direction. And he said, just like spinnakers help lead the way, if you're out in light winds, Rotary leads the way. So there's a spinnaker in our theme as well. So there's the 3 components of the theme this year. The wave, it symbolizes the power and the force and the ubiquity of water and of Rotary, a heart at the center, and a spinnaker, because we're out in front leading the way. Rotarians lead the way to making the world a better place and doing good in the world. So I'm delighted to be able to share that with you. I love this theme. I think Barry did a wonderful job with it, and it's a great theme. So because it's so good, what I thought we would do is stay with that theme of inspiration and do something together. So there's a card at every seat in the room. So what I would like everybody to do is take a card and get a pen, and we're going to do something together. And I want to get three pens, 3 cards over there for you guys. Did you get one? One for you. One for you. You got a pen? Let me get you a card. Card. All right, so on your card, we're going to answer 4 questions. We're going to think about inspiration, and we're going to do 4 questions together. The first question, when you think about inspiration in your life, we've all been blessed with having wonderful people in our lives. I want you to think about one person who has inspired you, and I want you to write down the name of that person, please. Pick one person that has inspired you and write down their name. And then we're going to answer a couple of more questions about that person. It's great to think about inspiration. So, thinking about that person and inspiration, the second question, what specifically did that person say or do that meant so much to you? What did they say or do that meant so much to you? Third question. How did that inspiration in your life change you? How did that person being in your life, giving you that inspiration, how did it change you? And our fourth question, going forward through this Rotary Club, the Rotary Club of Petaluma, through this Rotary Club, what can you do to honor this person's gift of inspiration to you? What can you do through the club to honor them? Those are our four questions. Who inspired us? What did they say or do? How did it change us? And what can we do through Rotary to honor that? Right? Those four questions. So now everybody has an inspiration card. So I'll tell you that we have, in our district, we have 47 Rotary clubs from Petaluma to Crescent City at the Oregon border. We have 47 clubs. Sonoma County, Napa, Mendo, Lake, Humboldt, Del Norte. 47 clubs, 2,500 Rotarians. Every Rotarian in the district has had the opportunity to think about inspiration, think about the people who have inspired them. So I love that idea that we've been able to create a community of all of us around this theme of inspiration. So everybody's got a chance to do that. So I'll share with you what's on my card. So I've got my card filled out. Answer to the first question, who inspired me? So the person who inspired me, his name is Thomas Glynn. And I knew this person as Daddy. So my dad's my inspiration. And what did he do? Well, my dad did two things. But the first thing my dad did was, when I was a kid, and actually all through my adult life too, the only person in the world who has ever been allowed to call me Barbie is my dad, right? So us science researchers, we don't do the Barbie thing, right? But my dad called me Barbie, and it was actually half of what we called me. My dad always called me Barbie baby. And what my dad would say to me is, you can do it, Barbie baby. I know you can. Whether that was learning to ride a bike, or going out for the basketball team, studying statistics, majoring in chemistry, biology, comparative vertebrate anatomy, all that. My dad was always there saying, you can do it, I know you can. Should I go to graduate school? Yeah. So it's wonderful to have that. The other thing my dad said was, it's nice to be nice. My dad led with nice through his whole life. I watched him, he modeled that behavior for me for his whole life. He always started out by being nice, And it was amazing what came back to him because he was so nice. So it was a great gift. So how did that result? What were the results for me? Well, I try new things. You know, I have a pilot's license. I know how to fly an airplane. I know how to ride a motorcycle. Right? I've lived in lots of different places around the world. Spent probably 5 years on an airplane, if you think about the time. Right? I have permanent lifetime platinum status on American Airlines forever. Right? I know how to go through any airport in the world without touching any walls. Right? So I try new things, and I encourage other people. So I think encouraging people, being there for other people, if you see someone struggling a little bit, hesitating, I just reach right out and go, you can do that. Try that. Give that a shot. What help do you need? What do you need to get that done? And you reach out and do it. Okay? And I look for the best in people because it's there. It's there. Look for the best in people. Talk to that part of them, and that will emerge. That's an enormous gift. And going forward in Rotary, what do? I do this. You know, I take on the governor job. I do this. I come, I share. My job as the governor is to learn from you what you do that's so fantastic in this community and the world, your commitment to youth, your commitment to the Miracle League, your commitment to all of the things that you do, learn about that and to take that to other Rotarians in the district. That's my job. I take that job on and I take it on gladly. And I appreciate what you share with me so I can share with other people. Right? So we do that. We talk about opportunities and we share opportunities. So that's what's on this card. How many people have a parent on their card? Parents. All right. How many people have children? Excellent. How many people have siblings? Good. They're so underrepresented in this. That's good. It's wonderful to think about these folks. How many have fellow Rotarians? Yeah. There's lots of wonderful Rotarians. Would anybody want to talk about who's on their card? You don't have to. It's okay. Michael.
Yes, my father also, and he was, first off, you know, we all have different answers, and I was lucky, to have a father who was a good role model for me. And he was always sensitive and thoughtful and helpful to others. He started off as a superintendent of schools, principal. Ultimately, he liked being a high school counselor. He was a head counselor in California because he liked to help others. And I've always admired that about him. So, yes, you know, what can you do to extrapolate to bring that into Rotary is just to be kind to other people.
Yeah.
You know, to be receptive, like you say, to be supportive. So, very close to what you have for your wonderful.
Thank you. So, yeah, that's wonderful. So we all have our inspiration card. So what can we do with this? So we can do lots of things with this. One thing we can do is, you know, we could take it home and stick it up on the wall in our home offices. And if you're having a bad day, people will make you cranky, and it's not such a good day. You can go home and you can look at that and say, yeah, there's been somebody in my life who's really been good, been there for me, good for me, and they're right here. And go visit the card. The other thing you can do is you can decide. Where's Charlie? We can decide maybe later on in the year you want to do a club program about inspiration. And let everybody talk to each other about what inspires you. Right? That's kind of a cool thing. You can dedicate a whole meeting to that. The other thing you could do is if the person, there's intentionality behind the card. So if the person who inspired you is still with us, you could take a little yellow Post-it, you could stick it up in the corner, take a little sticky, just say, write, I love you, thank you. It fits in a number 10 envelope. So this will go in a number 10 envelope. Stick it in the envelope, send it to them. How thrilled would they be to get that? And if that person isn't with us anymore, as my dad isn't with us anymore, you can put it in an envelope and send it to someone you know who knew them and say, I was thinking about this person today and how much they meant to me. Isn't it cool? And you can do that. So inspiration is precious. We need to visit our inspiration as often as we can because our inspiration is precious to us. But inspiration is really half of what we want to do. We have to be inspired to get anything done. But the most important thing is we need to take our inspiration and we need to do what matters. So our district theme this year is Do What Matters. And what does that mean? Well, that means things like last year when the fires, we step up, we create the fire relief fund. We go to Bob Rogers' house in the middle of the night, stay there for 10 days because our house is evacuated. We did that. We do all of the programs. So when I walked into the room today, I came over and I looked at our club in action and all the things you're doing. And I recognize a lot of these folks. These are fantastic programs. I'm gonna recommend that we throw that phone out the window. The second thing I'm going to recommend is I would take those Art Club in actions and I bring them right up to the front so everybody sees them every day. There are some really, really cool pictures over here of things that you're doing. So you know how to do what matters. You've got all these great things. You've got kids. You've got a guy with 5 salads, right? You've got all kinds of things. Polo players, right? I see Jerry and Sherry. So there were people, I'm thinking that this picture is when we went out and planted trees over in Middletown. How many people went over to Middletown to plant trees? That was great, wasn't it? All right. So you know how to do what matters. You know how to do what matters in this club. So as the governor, there is no programmatic, this is my project and you go do it this year. There's none of that. Because I believe that you already know how to do what matters. You know what matters in this community. You know what matters in the world. We had a great conversation at the board. You're already doing it. So my message to you is keep doing it. Do the things that make this club strong and stronger. Right? Do the things that allow you to increase your humanitarian service. Right? So do more of service, more giving. Because the more you give, the more you get. And the third thing is, whatever you do, make sure that everybody knows that it's you that's doing it. Right? When you do the Miracle Park, make sure there's a big Rotary symbol right on it, that it's the Rotarians in this city that are doing that. Right? So we want to have our inspiration, and we want to do what matters. Right? And we want to be strong, increase our service, because that's why we're here. That's why we're Rotarians, because we give service above self, and make sure everybody knows that it's us that's doing it. Right? And it's huge what people do. I wish everybody in the district could come with me to every meeting, because you'd be so excited, you'd be thrilled about seeing what other clubs are doing, what other Rotarians are doing. This is a great district. It's a great community. Phenomenal things are happening. And if you're in this room and you're a Rotarian and you subscribe to the 4-way test, and that's how you've decided to live your life, you're a leader, you're ethical, you work the 4-way test, you are someone's inspiration, right? You're on somebody's card somewhere. Because if that's the choice you've made to be a Rotarian, you are the inspiration. And I thank you. I thank you for that. So does the world. So it's great to be with you. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is there's a little card. It's a save the date card here for the Rotary 4-Way Fest at the Peppermill next May. It's a save the date. We're going to get together with 4 districts, probably have 1,000 Rotarians, where we can all get together and enjoy each other's company, learn from each other. You can tell them all the great things you're doing, and you can learn from them all the wonderful things they're doing. So these are the dates. Here's some of the things we're going to do. We've got Dave Dravecki from the Giants. Everybody remember the pitcher, Dave Dravecki? Right. He's our speaker Friday night. One of the benefits of bringing 4 districts together is you've got a bigger budget to get more speakers. Right? So we have Dave on Friday night. We have Mike McGuire, State Senator Mike McGuire will be with us on Saturday, as is Ron Burton. Right? We're going to have all of our youth exchange students are going to come and be with us for Sunday morning. We've got activities. We've got a walk around the lake to end polio. Not the big lake. It's not a Bob project. It's going to be a small project around the little lake in Reno. So we're going to do the little lake in Reno. We're going to walk to end polio. We'll have a golf scramble on Thursday. The people, our friends, our colleagues down in 5150, the district right to our south, right, Novato and all the way down, they swear by something called karaoke for polio. We dunk the past district governors, we make them ride bikes. They do karaoke. So they pay to sing. That's how they raise money for polio, right? So they pay to sing. Personally, I think you'd much rather pay money to have me not sing. It's up to you. Totally up to you. Right? It's a choice. So you can karaoke for polio or don't sing. We'll play poker, no cheating. Right? We'll have House of Friendship. We're going to have a good time. So I wanted to make sure that you had a card. Right? You know the dates. The hotel information is on the back. And the registration for the district part is in the mail, and you'll see it again. We already have 50 people from the district. This is only, October. Through the middle of October, we had 50 people from the district already signed up, which is a record for our for our district just early in the year. So you're invited to that. And the other thing I wanted to talk about was I would like to ask Michael to come up. Stand with me for just a minute, please. So we do something together where we bring all of the club presidents together, all 47 club presidents. We do something called pre-PETS. So PETS stands for President-Elect Training Seminar. So we have 47 club presidents, incoming presidents every year. And we have a session in the northern part of the district and in the southern part of the district. It's called pre-PETS. And we brought them all together last year, and I said to all of the presidents, introduce yourself, because you're in a room full of a bunch of people that you don't know. Introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then give me one word to describe your Rotary experience. And I asked the board here today to do that same thing, to give me one word to describe your Rotary experience. So your board came up with words like rewarding, multiple times rewarding, inspirational, fellowship. We came up with addicting, and it was not the pharmacist who said that, right? It was the other guy who said addicting, the other guy here. Elias. Committed. Judy said committed. Thank you, Judy. Exciting. Chris thinks it's exciting. Tawny said nourishing. It's great. Joanne said connected. Of course, Michael had 2 words. Of course. But that's okay, because every meeting somebody says 2 instead of 1. That's okay. I knew it was going to happen. Michael said empowering growth, and Len said family. So those are great words. Those are the words that this group came up with just this morning in one meeting. So last year when we got all the presidents together, and I asked all of the incoming presidents for their words, they all gave me their words, and I have the photos of those flip charts on my phone. So what I did is I took all of those words, and we created the District 5130 word cloud for all the presidents this year, and all of their words to describe their Rotary experience. So this is for Michael, your club president. And on the back is a little note. It says November 1st, 2018, Michael Nisler, President, Rotary Club of Petaluma. It says, thanks for, first of all, choosing to lead. So leadership is a choice that we make. We choose to lead. Everything that we do, it's a choice. It's not a job. It's not a position. It's not a title. It's a choice. So thank you for choosing to lead. Thank you for being the inspiration. Thank you for doing what matters. Enjoy every minute of the year. Okay, and with that, I'd like to say thank you for hosting me. Thank you for the fun we're going to have later at our social. I'm looking forward to talking with you more individually, and thanks so much for all you do.
Thank you, District Governor Barb, and I have something for you. Typically what we always do is we have a basket. I think it was maybe at pre-pets, but somewhere down the road, said, well, let's the basket for the DG. And it goes from club to club. She said, no. I really like about Barb is that she tries to have this minimum amount of overhead. She wants to do what matters. She lives by those words. And so she said, on my year, if you want to do something, just make a donation to Rotary. And so in your name, I have something for you, Miss DWM. Do What Matters. So yes, we have a check for you there for you to go ahead and on behalf of your name to go ahead and make a donation to the Rotary Fund. So thank you for that, for your leadership. And she is the person who inspires the rest of us. So she is the inspiration that inspires, is what I have in there in the card. And so 5:30 this afternoon, I hope you can make it there at the Yacht Club. We're going to have a great time. We have a couple hours, and I think that we're going to have from the Petaluma People's Service Center, we're going to go ahead and see if we can get Elise Hempel there, and Bug Deacon is going to be there from Heritage Lumber. Have any of you ever watched that on television? Any of you watched? What a great show. If you haven't seen it, you wouldn't want to miss it, but he's been very generous also. So with that, I'm going to call it a day. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you had a great time. Thanks for all you do for polio, too. Take care.